Let's see. This is...
So we have, yeah, Reese here on the right playing Mono Blue Niv Magus Elemental deck.
And Kevin McKee on the left playing Scapeshift Nickfit.
Brad Nelson actually made a video.
He did?
Legacy video.
He did,
with this exact deck. It looked pretty cool, not gonna lie.
This deck features such hits as Stomping Grounds because we already have all the Tigers.
Yeah, you can only play 4 Tigers, so you gotta get in some Stomping Grounds.
Blitz Helion, 2 Green Sun Zenith 4.
Okay.
Okay. That one's just like completely outside my range to even talk about, I think. Yeah, 7/7 trample. No, your library. 7/7 trample haste for 5, shuffles into your library at end step.
That's a little ambitious.
Yeah. Has Veteran Explorer.
Yeah, Veteran Explorer is the best card in this deck. Veteran Explorer is a relatively...
Say that, but everyone has basics now.
But you want more mana.
Sure, you want the Scapeshift mana. So Veteran Explorer, for those who don't know, green for a 1/1. When it dies, each player might search the deck for up to 2 basic lands and put them into play.
Mm-hmm.
So you sacrifice it to Cabal Therapy or Phyrexian Tower.
Yeah.
We have a Mold of 5 from the Niv Magus deck, which could be
now 4.
Whoa, which should be a game 2.
That's gonna be tough.
He is also a Delver deck, so
he could operate
just
on
flip
low.
a Delver.
Yeah,
with some
Kevin could come so this is Reese's deck is a mono blue Niv Magus Elemental deck.
Yeah, it looks a lot like a Rug Delver deck might. You've got Brainstorm. Oh, no Ponder. Interesting. So you have your creatures are Delver Secrets on turn 1 off the Mold of 4. Niv Magus and Snapcaster Mage. Kevin just has a Forest on turn 1. No Veteran Explorer.
Taxian Probe flips the Delver.
Yeah, see, this is what you need to do when you Mold of 4. Probe you, pay 2 life, down to 18.
And now the gig's probably up.
Huntmaster of the Fells, 2 basic mountains, a Burning Wish, a Valakut, and a Cabal Therapy. I was gonna say with the mountains and the Burning Wish, if you're really deep into this format, you should know. But with the Valakut, you have to know by now.
Yes.
Kevin kept a kind of loose hand here.
I do not like this keep from Kevin one bit.
Yeah. Like, what if your opponent is just doing something on turn 2 or 1?
Yeah, casting a Delver is a little bit too much for this deck to handle.
Well, not this deck, this hand.
Yes.
So it looks like he drew a Niv Magus off of it. This could be just a crazy Mold of 4 kill. Kevin gonna drop down to 14. Niv Magus Elemental.
No, just 17.
Or 17, sorry, I'm counting ahead. Kevin draws a Forest.
When this deck is not Burning Wishing for Scapeshift, it can Burning Wish for a Pyroclasm,
a Damnation, that's gonna be huge this game, actually.
A Tsunami.
Tsunami?
Tsunami.
Wait, Tsunami? Oh, no.
4 mana sorcery, green, destroy all islands.
3 and a green, sorcery speed boil. Better than Boiling Seas because it does not get countered by Blue Blast.
I think you might have more red mana, but yeah.
He just wished for a Pyroclasm here.
Yep.
So Reese is a bit under the gun here. He's got a Stifle in hand, but it looks like he's going to...
Okay,
he's going to want a Snapcaster, Probe,
but eat it
on the Niv Magus.
Yeah.
Going to 16, which is Scapeshift range off 7 lands. Putting Kevin to 11. He's going to lose 2 of his creatures to the Pyroclasm, but keep a 3/4 around, which could easily become a 2-turn clock with the right draws.
All right, so if you're Reese has a Stifle in his hand.
Yeah.
What kind of things are stifleable?
Huntmaster of the Fells come into play trigger.
Okay.
That's your big game there.
And that's a card that Kevin absolutely has in his hand. Maybe you could just do it and then use it to pump your Niv Magus Elemental.
I think you want to counter the Wolf token.
Counter the Wolf more than... What about countering like...
Huntmaster is going to get stifled here. Kevin drawing... Is that a black bordered Bayou? Nice.
I believe it is.
Portal 3 Kingdoms lands. I can also appreciate those white bordered ones.
Yeah. If you're going to whiteboard a Portal 3 Kingdoms so Reese actually needs to draw some some spells, or else it's Huntmaster. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Shump block with the Huntmaster. He's low enough that he's afraid of some kind of instant or source reaction. Because he had 2 spells in hand. If he just had some kind of instant and then a Flusterstorm, that would be game.
Wow. I mean, that was a very quick chump block.
Yeah, I agree.
From Kevin for something powerful like. I mean, I think this Huntmaster just would have ended the game like.
Cabal Therapy resolves.
Cabal Therapy is cast any other spell and it'll flip black, and that's another chump blocker.
Reveals Snapcaster Mage. We could see this Moldifor take it down right here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's not much from Reese to Snapcaster Mage.
Stifle. There's a
right.
Stifle.
That's the card right here.
And Kevin just put himself out of Zenith for Huntmaster range, I believe.
He does have 3 Huntmaster of the Fells.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Kevin...
And 2 Thrag Tusks.
Yeah. Kevin is really looking to play some standard here.
Yeah, really.
There's a Green Sun. He can get an Eternal Witness, but that trigger will get stifled. He can get a Wood Elves also.
Also stifled if Kevin even wants to do that.
But he's going to cast it. Not sure I like this play too much.
You think he'd rather save it for a Thrag Tusk?
Absolutely.
Okay. I agree. Though if you do nothing, he has the Snapcaster, you actually just drop to 1 on that line.
Mm-hmm.
And here I actually don't even think you stifle that. I think you just Snapcaster stifle the trigger and eat the... Yeah.
I can get behind that using Niv Magus Elemental to eat the
he does have
on
gut
stifle.
shots in his deck, so...
Yeah.
I'm actually shocked to see no Vapor Snags in this list.
Mm-hmm. And Tim.
Yeah. Instead, we see Flusterstorm and Spell Pierce and Stifle and Daze and Forcible.
And Spell Pierces.
And this guy is not losing to a combo deck today. he showed up.
Would rather not.
Yeah, I don't want to get stormed out today. Oh, he doesn't Snapcaster the Stifle. Interesting.
Alright, wow.
Niv Magus crashes in, gets chump blocked. Reese passes the turn. Drew another Niv Magus, it looks like.
I would have played. Oh, I guess he wants to save. Not sure what he's trying to stifle here.
Interesting, yeah.
I know you could stifle one of the triggers on Valakut.
Right, but it seems like Reese would lose his Niv Magus and take a bunch of damage, and would still be in a very bad position where every mountain is also a lightning bolt.
Yep.
Like, you can scape shift for non-lethal amounts.
Mm-hmm.
It is a legal play to do so, and is often reasonable in certain situations.
So, playing the Valakut. I'm going to cast
Primeval Titan. Jeez.
I have a feeling that will get stifled.
Yeah, I don't think you can, yeah.
And now a Vapor Snag would be very, very good, but...
That is not a card in Kevin's deck. We're just playing, like, every single standard format.
Yeah.
We've got last year's standard going on here.
Right.
Talking about Vapor Snags. Okay, Gitaxian Pro.
Let's see what that...
I think we have to cast it to draw a card and hope to draw our 1 Dismember. This old interaction from last year.
Yeah.
Probe you. Hang Life. Interesting. He reveals Eternal Witness of Volrath's Stronghold.
No, that's Escape Shift, I believe.
Oh, was that Escape Shift?
Yeah.
Oh. Jeez.
Better. I drew a land, so...
I think we could see a lights out Escape Shift next
Even though Kevin was under the gun quite a bit from this Moldifor, I think he's going to be able to pull it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible the hand was a little better than we thought it was because of the Burning Witch being able to get an interactive spell.
Yeah.
Gosh. Innocent Blood, Virtue's Rune, Reanimate. The Reanimate's the sickest.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Reanimate for value.
I've done that to people before.
Yeah.
It's really sweet.
Reanimate can target your graveyard or theirs.
Sample the Entomb, I don't know, a Gristlebrand that you might want to have in play.
Or if they, one of their, alright, so Escape Shift being cast from Kevin.
Yep.
Saw it. He's gonna go.
Takes up all his lands.
So, total number of mountains.
Interesting that he picked up the Valakut. Oh, he didn't pick up the Valakut. Oh, the Valakut's... Oh, okay.
Already in play.
So we get 7 lands on top of that? Okay. Yeah, I think the Valakut was already in play last turn. He could have gone for a lethal Scapeshift. He's also opting to go for the unsafe Scapeshift, where if they kill one of your lands in response,
yes.
The Valakut triggers for all the lands that are not that one, see that you only control 4 other mountains on resolution and fail to resolve.
Right. So
there's the intervening if clause.
Yeah.
But
so
instead,
one of these things, it'll trigger because it had like when it comes to play, it'll check and it'll trigger. It also has to check on resolution to make sure the condition is still true.
Correct.
So
Reese has some awesome cards for this matchup.
All right. Fire away.
Back to basics.
Game. Not game,
but Kevin has enough that it could Stone Rain him. Actually, that might not be as good as I thought it was at first. He does have 9 basics for these veteran explorers.
Right. It's weird
I jumped the gun a little there.
Yeah, back to basics is like good against the
fact that he has like
veteran
10...
explorer deck. But I still think it's absolutely something you bring in. What about Submerge?
For sure. Submerge is one of the cards you definitely want. I don't think you want Cloud of the Dominus.
Cloud of the Dominus is a 1-mana enchantment.
It costs, and is it guild mana?
Yes.
Or is it hybrid mana? If the enchanted creature is blue, it gets Shroud, I believe?
Yes.
And +1/+1, and if the enchanted creature is red, it gets +1/+1 and haste?
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
So basically it's a way to protect your Niv-Magus Elemental.
But I don't know if there's enough spot removal.
And it's also a giant strength.
Yeah, I think that Kevin's deck is traditionally pretty light on spot removal.
Yes.
Especially with the Scapeshifts. He's going to have Pernicious Deeds, which make extending with the Cloud of the Dominus a little awkward. I think Venso Shaper Savant comes in for sure for Reese. It's not as good against Scapeshift because it's easy just to, bounce it, cast it again. But those seem like good cards, better than Gut Shots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also one of those things, like, it's one of the ways that if he goes for the unsafe combo kill, that Venso can break it up.
Yeah. Kevin's got a good one for this matchup.
What, Red Elemental Blast?
Yeah, Red Elemental Blast against the deck with all blue spells.
Yeah.
And a Dismember.
Right, so both players have quite a few whammies coming after him. Now, which player do you like in this matchup? Having extensively tested the Nick Fitch Scapeshift versus Mono Blue Niv-Magus Elemental deck in your extensive testing.
I think that I'd probably take her. I think Reese's deck is a little favored. It depends. It really depends. I think that if Kevin doesn't have a veteran explorer that gets active on turn 1, I think Reese is pretty far ahead because
his deck is far more efficient.
Yeah, but if there's a veteran explorer on 1, I think that Daze and Spell Pierce just stop being cards. I think Reese can fight back with Stifle.
Yeah, Stifle, the veteran explorer trigger is
it might be to the point where Kevin Cabal Therapy Stifle first when he's setting this up.
Yeah, if he has Cabal Therapy for Stifle. The other thing is,
he doesn't have a Dryad Arbiter Green Sun Smith.
Correct.
Okay. Worth noting.
Yeah. I was somewhat surprised by that when I initially saw this, but apparently I've been told like the Dryad Arbor is bad. I don't believe them. But since you 2 mana, you just want to get Veteran Explorer every time anyway.
Yeah.
And if you could afford 1, you can afford 2, but that's not always the case.
It seems like I could imagine a lot of scenarios where I want to Green Sun Zenith for my extra land to Scapeshift them, and that'd be a really awesome play.
Yeah.
That's something
absolutely.
I've debated with people that about Modern. A lot of people talk about unbanning Green Sun Zenith. I think that might be a giant disaster if you let that happen. So Reese doesn't have a 1-drop creature, and Kevin has a Veteran Explorer that Reese lets resolve. This could get real dirty real fast.
The weird thing to me is that
Phyrexian Tower, sacrificing Explorer, gets stifled. Okay.
But there's still 2 mana in Kevin's pool. Phyrexian Tower allows you to sacrifice a creature to make 2 black mana, or it just has 4 colors.
Reese, that's not how you're supposed to respond to that Cabal Therapy. Flicking 2 cards to the side of your hand. You are now obligated to force a will that, I believe. Did he not name force a will?
Apparently he did not.
Oh wow, that's a. If you just
Almost
watch
a huge tell, yeah.
Yeah, if you just watch the mechanics of that, I think we spell pierce that.
Yeah, that's a little.
I think X=1 means there's a veteran explorer incoming, and I think that means that this game immediately ends if that resolves because it Cabal Therapy you. Yeah.
It has to be common.
Yeah,
and
you're at the spell piercing,
is...
the Cabal Therapy, losing both your Force of Wills, and he gets 2 lands. Flusterstorm would have been a little better to use on the Green Sun. So Kevin now has a blue blast up, but no black mana. Just passes the turn back. Restraws. Maybe another Snapcaster Mage. It's hard to tell. Something I'm looking at Reese's deck. It looks like it could benefit from Thought Scour because it looks like these Snapcaster Mages aren't doing extreme amounts of work.
Yeah.
Sakura Tribelder enters the battlefield.
Yeah, for me, it's very difficult to understand how Sakura Tribelder is better than Dryad Arbor.
It has to be better.
There's only one Sakura Tribelder.
Oh, I thought there was more. I thought you meant as a card over on the deck. It's a better card to draw.
Yeah, for sure.
Looks like Reese brought in the Cloud to the Dominus.
Okay.
And Kevin's opting just to bring the beats with this Sakura Tribelder. Is Reese going to attempt to flash in the Snapcaster and trade here? Or, block, force Kevin to actually sack the Elder or not?
Mm-hmm.
And then put him in a situation where the Snapcaster Mage has the Stifle there? It seems like a pretty good play. Chooses not to.
Yeah, I actually think Reese's deck is very light on
threats.
Not threats, but cantrips.
Yeah, I agree. I would expect to see Ponder in a deck like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd even be playing Preordain.
Really? That might be a little too far.
I love Preordain. Preordain's my favorite.
Are there creatures we can play that aren't Snapcaster Mage in this deck? Because I'm not really sure the Snapcaster Mage is where I want to be right now as a threat. It kind of reminds me of how Snapcaster Mage was never really a game ender in Delver last year.
Mm-hmm. It's just so efficient.
Yeah. Well, it seems like there's got to be a card in Legacy that is another cheap blue game-ending threat that isn't Vendilion Click or something.
Why not Vendilion Click?
Cost 3.
Okay.
And our 6.
To be fair, blue creatures have been pretty bad over the years.
Yeah. We could have another color. We could, I think I've seen listed this with Kiln Fiend or something.
Yeah.
Similar to Jerry's deck. So we're Fluster Storming this blue blast.
Because it is, Storm is 3.
Snapcaster, blue blast.
Yeah.
So Kevin can let the blue blast resolve by sacrificing his Elder to the Phyrexian Tower.
You're saying that's not worth it.
Wasteland.
Wasteland for Break the Dagger.
That's an important card here. Cloud of the Dominus on our Snapcaster Mage. We have played our played our Ambush Viper and equipped it with Ethereal Armor or something similar. 3, Kevin goes to 17.
Yeah, powerful Legacy play. +1/+1 enchantment.
You say that, but Unstable Mutation did win an open.
Game. Glosses.
Yeah. Appropriate reference.
Yeah.
Sack Elder cannot be stifled.
What is the last card in?
I think another Snapcaster.
Man, I would have really liked to not see the clout there, so that you could Wasteland
and then
stifle the Sakura Tribelder.
I agree. That would be a significantly better line if you're attacking his mana with Stifle already.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already committed a Stifle to killing his land and a Wasteland.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if Kevin gets to his 4th land, that could easily just be game over due to Hunt Mastery the Fells.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, then again, Reese doesn't actually know that Kevin has 3 of that card instead of maybe 1.
Mm-hmm. There's a force will to stop one of them, but...
Yeah. Taiga, not really the land that Kevin's looking for here. Huntmaster, that is immediately getting Force Willed. I hope pitching a Force of Will.
Yeah, I would also pitch the Force of Will, but
Yep, Reese does. I think the problem in this game is going to be that our clock is not sufficient.
no, absolutely not. And it can't be. Like,
Ooh, days. That is huge.
would have been nice to have that last turn, but yeah, that's a
Another answer to a 4-drop.
yeah, pretty nice.
Though we don't know if Kevin has another land to cast. 2. Burning Wish. He can Snapcast or Flusterstorm that. He could also just do that to whatever he gets. Presumably. Who knows what he could wish for in this format. I don't know the list of uncounterable sorceries off the top of my head, but...
The only uncounterable one that actually exists in Kevin's deck is Slaughter Games.
Oh boy, are we reanimating this Huntmaster?
That's not bad.
Reanimate Huntmaster. That's going to get Snapcaster, Flusterstorm.
Maybe Pierce, but yeah, same.
I'd probably... I feel like I'd use the Flusterstorm in this case, because the Pierce can also hit a Pernicious Deed.
Okay. Reese disagrees, and exiles... Oh, jeez.
Wasteland the Taiga. Kraken for 5. Kevin drops 9.
That makes the days...
Much better.
Yeah, Reese is really going after the...
There's a Taiga drawn, which puts this Pernicious Deed out of Days range.
Jeez.
Just your everyday usual Magic Legacy, okay? Reese draws another island. Reese's deck really wants Gush. That's what it wants. It's just,
Gush would be alright.
just a little bit good. Reese gets Kevin down to 4, but is going to get his board reset. And it looks like Kevin has a Thrag Tusk in his hand.
Escape Shift.
Jeez. We did not come here ready for Thrag Tusks.
No. No. We should not have Thrag Tusk in mind.
Deed for 2. I don't know if I like that timing. I think you can wait till upkeep. Pulls his mana for a Stifle, prevents it from EOTing another Snapcaster.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like one of those things where, like, alright, Kevin's dead if this deed doesn't work anyway. So.
Yeah, but it prevents Reese from just going EOT. Oh, I guess if you have a Snapcaster, it just stifles it in your head. Okay. Days does not really work on the 1-drop here. He could have cashed it in as a +3.
Yeah.
Or
+2.
+2.
Yeah.
But it's just going to get chumped by the Explorer anyways. And he just wants the card in hand in case he draws a Brainstorm or a Forcible. Reese, on the other hand, sporting some mismatched 4th revised islands.
Let's talk about gross.
Listen, when you're playing a mono blue Niv-Magus deck, listen, sometimes like you play a deck and you know, it doesn't matter how good the deck is, in your heart of hearts that your opponents will be very frustrated that you beat them with some deck that they expect to be terrible. And when that happens, you want them to look at your lands and feel disgusted that they lost to you.
So we're flashback on Cabal Therapy.
Yep.
Gets both players some lands. Kevin is going to...
Kevin could get trapped into... Oh, he's going to see it off the therapy.
He's
Never
going to see
mind.
that...
I was going to say, this would be really
otherwise, this
cool.
is going to be a fantastic days.
Yeah.
But Thrag Tusk unlikely to get dazed here.
Yeah.
Simply because, though, like, if Kevin doesn't have anything else...
It's kind of interesting that Reese could, in theory, just draw another spell here and kill Kevin.
Correct. A spell that you could cast, not a non-counter spell.
Correct.
So Kevin sees the bad news. The daze preventing him from casting Thrag Tusk this turn.
Reese has all of his basic lands in play.
Yep. His fetch lands are no longer live.
Outside of Brainstorm value.
Yeah.
Draws Stifle.
Awkward.
Definitely. Niv-Magus in for 1. So...
Well, we're stifling the gain 5 life, maybe?
I think we stifle the gain 5 life. Oh, that's a Volrest Stronghold. This suddenly gets much, much harder to deal with. Wait. Oh. Okay. I guess Kevin could have just gone for the kill with Escape Shift.
Yep, he could have. They wouldn't have gotten there because of the stifle.
Yeah, he's just
Would
as
deal-
dead to a Forcible here. So he's going to stifle that. He's going to daze his Stifle, exile it to that, bouncing a land. You could pay 2, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I think the Bull Rest...
No, I like not paying 2 here, or returning a land. Because you don't actually need it.
Okay. That's an answer to the Stronghold, which I think you need
really
to kill
good.
immediately.
What it does when you draw a Brainstorm, you can put 2 islands back and then shuffle.
Okay. That's cool.
Rogue card advantage.
Yeah, I'm not used to the Daze Brainstorm interactions at all.
Yeah.
Usually when I cast Brainstorm...
I try and kill them that turn.
Yeah, or like I crack a fetch. Or, yeah, like I just never draw the cards.
Yeah.
It's like a free shuffle.
Right. It's a free shuffle of the game ends.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to cast it on a end step and you have to keep one of the cards. I don't know. Huntmaster, and I think Reese is officially stabilized.
Or Kevin.
Or Kevin, yes. Switch names.
There's no way to, no Spectral Flights or any Shadow Rifts.
Yeah, Spectral Flight would be sweet. There's a Brainstorm. Can this bail us out?
Well,
not with those ones.
Good news. Good news, we get to shuffle. Good. Bad news, we drew 3 lands off the Brainstorm.
Yeah. Kevin might just win this one with good old-fashioned standard beatdown.
Standard is a powerful format.
Yeah. These are good creatures. It's kind of funny that there aren't like Cavernous Souls in Kevin's deck. Because it feels like you just are playing a Thragtusk in a format of like Force of Wills.
And Dazes.
Yeah. Like I might play a Cavern. He can't fit them, I guess, because his other utility lands are better.
Right. But like, and he needs.
It feels like if I'm playing Thragtusk in this format, it actually just pains me to not see it with Cavernous Souls, even if you can't do it. I really want to know what this Blitzio land is for, because like it looks like it's there for a reason.
I don't know about that.
There's no way it's not there for a reason.
Well, like he probably put it in his deck because he has a reason. I'm not sure it's a good reason. How about that?
Well, I mean, I want to know what that reason is so we can figure out what else there is. Like, maybe like Timbermare is a better version of that.
It's like Green Sun Zenith for Kevin. Like you're getting Eternal Witness. Oh, what?
Is it a Wood Elves
up land so you can.
I think I would have just Eternal Witnessed up the Stronghold because that's your best land, right?
Right. That was my guess. Apparently, Wood Elves is sweet too.
Yeah. No, Wood Elves is actually good in this deck. It was in all the old extended Scapeship lists. Not in the modern ones right now, but.
Why is that? Your islands are on the top of your deck, Reese.
It's I think it's because the modern lists need to be a little faster, and they need all the 2-mana ramp they can get to get off the ground quicker, and like it just doesn't really fit in the whole shell of what's going on with that deck.
All right, we are drawing live on
cards. I don't know if they're good cards. You're drawing live on having cards though.
Yeah. Put back apparently probably 2 lands.
It's probably a Daze.
I think the Daze.
So you can fetch away.
I want the Daze as a giant growth for Niv Magus Elemental, even though it's just gonna be a giant guy.
Maybe the second Niv Magus is pretty bad.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
The lack of I have seen blue-red versions of the Niv Magus deck, and the lack of reach is quite apparent with the mono blue list.
Yeah.
The blue-red list having access to like Lightning Bolt and Fire Blast. I remember there was a great Italian tournament report that got botched terribly by Google Translate when you try to read it.
Okay.
You know, he plays against Hunchbacks in the top 8, and it's like, what is this? And then his opponent plays an Aether Ball, like, oh, it's Goblins. Yeah, Google Translate's a great thing, but like the list had the Cloud of the Dominus in the main, same kind of shell, Delver, Niv Magus, Snapcaster. Wasteland takes down the Bayou.
What are your? How do you like leaving it in play?
The Bayou?
No, the Wasteland. See if Kevin screws it up.
I don't know if he knows about the Scape Shift, and if it's just giving him mana, that's just bad.
Right. My thing is that I'm pretty sure that Kevin is not going to, cutting him off, mana lane 7 as opposed to lane 6, not the greatest. Like, and if you want to try and bait out a escape shift,
he used up from Evil Titan the last game.
Yeah.
You want to daze that if it is getting cast, which it looks like it's not. Green Sun Zenith for another Huntmaster, it looks like. Yeah, this is closing in on over. Because Huntmaster can take down any Delver secret that's going to flip. So the only threat that Reese has that's going to break through this wall of creatures is a Delver that he manages to cloud up. And even then, I think he just loses the race if he starts going down that route.
Ooh.
Second Wolf token. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, did we lose some of those between standard? They just get sent home because they thought they were done?
The Wolf tokens took the legacy.
Hold up, guys.
Yeah.
Garruk Relentless is also a playable card in this format. We need all of those Wolf tokens.
Yeah, the Wolf tokens do not have Sunday off.
Let's see. I think Kevin just starts trying to flip these Huntmasters.
Sure. I don't think he has to gonna have to try too hard.
Oh, Reese just doesn't have a spell.
And game.
Yeah. Reese can stifle one of those and eat it to the Niv Magus to grow it. But I think he's just too far behind it. Picking up the card, reading it, reading the other side.
Not much of a standard guy, are you, Reese?
Yeah. Can stifle a transform trigger?
Absolutely.
Is that the trigger you even want to stifle?
Not sure.
I have no idea how this interaction works.
I've not really
thought too hard about the
implications
of this.
Of stifle on Huntmaster of the Fells. This is a great tournament.
We chose the right match to watch this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so he's gonna stifle one. That one flips. 2 to Reese. He's down to 13. I think I might have blown the daze to pump the Niv Magus so I can actually block a wolf this turn, because I think you're pretty close to just dead on the attack.
Yeah, Kevin seems like really passive here. He has a lot of creatures in play, and Reese has a 3/4. All right, here they come, finally.
Yeah. Leaves back the Huntmaster and the Wood Elves to chump.
Yeah, I like this attack.
Niv Magus is a very strange card to play against.
I mean, yes and no, like, if you have to kill it with damage,
yeah,
it can be like Psychotog in a lot of ways.
Sure.
Where you just kind of like throw a bunch of cards in it, it's not going to get you anywhere.
It's going to trade for the Thragtusk. That seems like it should seal the game here.
Yeah.
Reese dropping down to 5 on that attack. And another Thragtusk for Kevin. Beast mode.
Yeah, Kevin McKee is fully in beast mode.
Reese fetches his last island.
I've often said that these...
He set his deck for any outs, I guess.
Yeah. Veteran Explorer, Nick Fit decks often operate in standard mode.
Yes.
This is not what I had in mind.
They actually played Grave Fighting before. Some of the lists.
Well, they played like these 4, 5, and 6 mana mid-range cards.
Okay, and Reese
that
packs
like you definitely have seen in standard over the years, like Master of the Wild Hunt.
I've never seen that one of these.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Deranged Hermit.
I've seen Deranged Hermit and the Recurring Nightmare.
Yeah, I think Deranged Hermit's been replaced by Thragtusk.
Yeah,
that was like the original, like, let's tutor for something that kills them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of like really weird cards that just end up in these decks.
Yeah.
Because when you're just plus 2 mana every game, it's pretty ridiculous.
So we're back.
Yep.
And we just saw basically Kevin McKee taking the